Growing up, you're not always taught the best ways to deal with pain, betrayal, and heartbreak. Everybody out here is just winging it and have been winging it, and then we pass down those habits down to our children, and they pick up on those bad habits. And them too, they just, they don't, there's just a lot of wounded people out here projecting their pain onto other people because they don't know how to deal with it. They can't sit with the pain long enough so that they can heal from it. And growing up, like who hasn't dealt with heartbreaks and betrayal and just, trauma from your childhood? Who hasn't? We all have dealt with this. No one is special. No one is better than the next. And, at first, how I dealt with my pain, I used to inflict pain on myself. Like I used to punch walls because, like a lot of people would do things to me and I didn't know how to set boundaries. No one didn't teach me at that age how to set boundaries to make sure nobody, disrespect my space, anything, or do something I don't like. I was a people pleaser back then, excuse me. And I was generally a nice person. I wanted people to like me, and I didn't know how to set boundaries, so like people took advantage of that. And as well as not setting boundaries, when somebody does something to you that you don't like, a lot of us don't express how we feel in that moment. We just be like, okay, we just gonna ignore that. But deep down it hurt us, it affected us. But we just chose to ignore it because we wanted to avoid conflict with the next person. And a lot of people do make expressing yourself into an argument, so I understand why people do that. A lot of people weren't mature with, disagreeing with one another and trying to get an understanding and communicating. No one was really good at that. People took things personal when you try to express yourself and say like, hey, what you did hurt me. So as a result of me doing that, there was times where somebody would do something small and I would just explode. I cursed that person out. I never really attack anybody. I never really attacked nobody. I wouldn't fight unless somebody, was fighting me or they hit me first back then. But I remember this one time playing a basketball game, and I'm just playing a game, and then this older kid that was playing with us, he was trying to bully me. He was calling me the B word and stuff like that. And I was heated, and I wanted to swing on him, but I'm not the type to just be swinging on people first like that. Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't be picking fights with people. So I was just full of rage, and I just walked out the gym. I walked off the courts, started punching the wall mad times. Right? And then next thing you know, my hand was broken. Broke my hand. You see, like when you can't deal with the pain in a proper and a healthy way. Sorry, fire trucks. Damn, my skin looking good. That sun doing justice. I like how the sun looks on your face, or melanin people's face when it's setting. It's a beautiful, beautiful look. But yeah, I didn't know how to, deal with that. And I had a broken hand. Now I had to sit for 4 weeks with one hand. That was something. Other times, like I broke my other hand. I got in a fight. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. Actually, this time was different. I did speak up for myself. This boy was elbowing me in the chest. And I asked calmly, I said, yo, can you stop elbowing me? Because he was already playing too wild before that. I said, yo, can you stop elbowing me? He said, I do whatever I want. And that's when I swung at him. I swung at him, hit him in the head with my other hand. I broke my left hand first. I broke this hand first. And then I swung with this hand. You see that scar? That was surgery from breaking my hand. Swung, shattered my bone. We was fighting, they broke it up, and I'm like, damn, I broke my hand again. And I had a season coming up too, basketball season. So I was dritty. I was real dritty. And the more appropriate and mature way to handle that, I should have just walked off the court. You know, it's just that I wanted to keep on playing, and then my emotions got involved, as you can see. And I was calm the whole game. But me being who I am, it's like I would be mad, but my poker face is like I'm good. Like ain't nothing bothering me. You know, I'm focused. But deep down, I got some rage festering. So that's usually what happened. In a mature way, if I would have known, I could have saved my right hand, you know, and I would have just walked off the court. I'm like, yo, I'm not playing no more. He's playing too rough. I ain't trying to get hurt. So yeah, it was a lesson to be learned, you know. Yeah, don't beat yourself up for the ways you projected your pain in the past and the ways that you dealt with it wrong, because those was just lessons. Those are vital lessons that you had to learn. You know, so don't beat yourself up for that. And other ways I used to deal with pain, man, or discomfort, you know, I too used to mess with porn, overeating, and I didn't really use weed to escape. You know, I know a lot of people use that to escape. But I didn't really be like, yo, let me smoke a blunt because I'm mad. Like, I wasn't really that type. I just liked to smoke because it made me feel good. So I guess that's a form of escape. But I wasn't really doing that like that in high school. But in high school, it was, you know, I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to express myself. So I would lash out on people, you know, rage, start throwing things, breaking things. I would use porn. Porn was never good to use because you're draining yourself of energy, and it just makes you feel even worse and worse and worse. Overeating, same thing. It makes you feel worse and worse and worse. Anything that deals with the flesh, pleasuring yourself to escape, it just makes you feel worse once you're done. Your ego is fooled into thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get fulfilled from this, but it never works out. Arguing with people, all that stupid stuff. But there was also parts of me that knew how to deal with pain, and I'm actually highly proud of myself because like people have done me like really bad. Like they done some things that really hurt my feelings, that really hurt me, but I was strong, man. I kept my heart open. I was still loving. I was still full of positivity. And I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it, but you know, I'm not getting emotional about the fact of what they did. I'm getting emotional at the fact of how strong and resilient I was growing up, and I never really gave myself props for that. Because nobody ever deals with pain like how I did it. Everybody will always put on the front like, yeah, I got a heavy heart, my heart cold, this and that, and then they being grimy to people. I was not that type of person. I was like, yeah, that person hurt my feelings, that person hurt me, I got a heartache, but I'm gonna still keep my chin high and still move and not change my character for nobody. Because once you do that, once you allow somebody to change you because of what they did, they've won. And I didn't allow people to get one up on me by changing me. I stayed the same. So yeah, you know, you gotta keep your heart open, keep your heart light. Even if you hurting, you gotta smile through the pain, you feel me? You know, don't ignore it. You know, acknowledge that you had that pain, but you know, train yourself to not project it onto nobody. because that's no one's else's fault. You know, you allowed that to happen. You've allowed that to happen. And for those times that people did me bad and I went through those darkest hours and darkest days, you know, I wouldn't wish for it to be any different. Because without that, without those darkest hours and those darkest days and my lows, how would I be who I am right now, speaking to y'all, giving y'all advice? You know, how would I be, you know, doing what I'm doing right now? So I'm grateful for it all. I forgive myself and others. I forgive my past and I accept it. And I'm grateful for my past, that it went the way it did. And it could always be worse. It could always be worse. And now I just know how to move now. You know, kept my heart light. You know, even though, you know, I wasn't perfect, even though I indulged in things that I shouldn't have indulged in, that actually made me worse and, you know, put me in moments of depression, I was good. So just stay strong. Keep your chin high no matter what. No matter what anybody does to you. That's true strength. That's true strength. That is true strength.